Okay, so we come to a question about normals, just to see if we get the concept of these normals correctly. So I'm going to relaunch my poll. So if you're able to see polls, you should see it now. So what is the normal of this cube, the one that's drawn here, right? So here's the normal that's drawn. So what is that normal? You see the polling results now? So again, we have a distribution of answers. So did the breakout rooms work? Should we try it again? Were they a complete failure? We're gonna try the breakout rooms again. We'll give you a chance to talk about it a little bit to try to understand what's going on with these normals. So I'm kind of curious a couple of things. So when you come back, you guys can tell me. So there's some people in breakout rooms and some people have stayed in the main room. So first, I'm interested who is hearing my voice, whether it's only the people in the main room or whether it's the breakout rooms. I guess the breakout rooms don't hear me. Second, who is seeing the shared slides?
I don't think the breakout rooms hear you. I'm still here. I still hear you.
That's my expectation of what happens, right? Because it wouldn't be a very good breakout room if they were hearing from the main room. But I don't know if the breakout rooms see the slides.
No, they don't either. And
they
that's
don't see the shared slide either. So they have their own shared space.
Indeed.
I think Zoom is making essentially a complete separate call and dumping people into essentially a completely separate call. Okay, and in the breakout room, when I close the room, does it get a message that says it's going to close in like 1 minute?
So yeah, you actually come back like a minute early, something like that.
So, well, I can send a message to everybody, but if I just hit close, do they get a message that says like it's going to be done in a minute, or it just closes?
I don't know what you're hitting on your side, but I know that if it's scheduled to end in like a minute, that it ends in a minute.
Oh, but you get something that says scheduled to end in a minute.
Something like that.
Right. So here, this is what I do, right? If I say close all rooms, then I get this. They're going to all.
Oh, yeah. Then
right?
we all
get I don't know what people are seeing in the room because I don't have a way to get in the room.
You get a small window that says all breakout rooms will close in 60 seconds or something.
Perfect. So this is an experiment. I don't know if this is a great idea or it's not a great idea. Okay. Okay. I think we're all back, or we'll soon be all back. Not everybody's booted out yet. Okay, there seems to be more consensus this time. I'm interested in somebody giving an explanation. Why? I mean, it's clear that most people think C is the right answer, but why? I either want some questions why there's confusion on the other thing so I can try to clarify it, or somebody else can give a shot at explaining why C is the right answer, since obviously I didn't get it very perfect. Nobody wants to try? Okay.
It's because it's pointing straight in the X direction.
Right. So this normal on this side of the cube is pointing in the X direction, and here we have X is 1. So this is why it's that way. If somebody types in a question, I'll try to clarify why it might not be one of these other things. I'm not sure what else to say about this example, but let's go to a slightly harder example. Okay, so we have the same picture here, but now I want to know about the vertex normal at point A. So here I want to go calculate the vertex normal. Even though this is a cube, and I said on a cube we wouldn't really do this. I want to calculate the vertex normal at this point. So now what would that be? Let me reset this thing. Make your votes. I'll wait till there's at least half of them. Okay, so again, we have some confusion. So in order to answer this, I'm going to roll back a couple of slides so that I can point at where this comes from. So when we have to find a vertex normal, we need to average around the surrounding faces. So we need to get the normal at each of the surrounding faces, and then we're going to take the average of these normals in order to calculate this. So now we come back to here. So we previously said that this normal was 1, 0, 0. By similar reasoning, this top normal is 0, 1, 0, because it's in this direction. This last normal coming out of this face, let's see if I can draw. Well, I don't know where my, here we go, here's my annotation. This last normal, which comes out this way, is pointing in which direction? So which way is this thing pointing? So this, in this picture, I've said that this positive z direction is this way, right? Because we have this point here. So this is now going to be negative. So this normal is going to be 0, 1, negative, negative 1. So now we have to average those things together, right? We've got several things to average together. Now I've done it. I've got annotate on, and I have no idea how to make it to go on. So we have to average those together. So when we average those things together, this is the direction that we're going to be in, right? Because we had 0, 0, 1, and 0, 1, 0, and 0, 0, negative 1. So if I add those things together, I get to this. But it hasn't been normalized. The length hasn't been corrected. So I see somebody wrote this into the comments, right? So B is in the right direction. So this A is going to point away. It's hard to draw in this 2D, so I'm not going to try. It's going to point away from the cube out in this diagonal direction. So that's correct here. If we wanted to normalize it, we would have to divide by square root of 3, right, to get the length normalized. So there is no answer which is normalized here. So the per vertex normal, this direction is correct, but it's not normalized, which somebody in the chat is correct. It's something that normally too. B is the closest answer that's available in this. Yeah, the comments that say that per vertex normal implies it should be unit. Yes, that's correct. It should be. Right, so none of these are really correct. If you had a test question like this, B is the closest, right? It's in the normal direction. But the vertex normal, yeah, it should be divided.